Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Gauranga Duti Pada Jaradhana Sampada Shejane Bhakti Rasa Gauranga Madhur Leela Jar Karne Prabeshila Hriday Nirmal Bhelota Jai Gauranger Nam Loi Tar Hoi Premodoi Tare Mui Jai Bali Hari Gauranga Gumne Te Jhure Nitya Leela Tare Svure Sejan Bhakti Adhikari Gaurangera Sangi Garne Nitya Siddha Kari Mane Shri Jai Brajendra Sutapash Shri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Jai Bhajane Chintamani Tar Hoi Braja Bhume Bash Gaura Prema Rasana Be Shri Tarange Jeba Dube Shri Radha Madhavantaranga Grihe Babonete Take Hagaranga Bale Dake Narotama Mageta Sangha Narotama Mageta Sangha Gaurangera Dukti Pada Jaradhana Sampada Shejane Bhakti Rasa Gaurangera Madhur Leela Jar Karne Prabeshila Hridaya Nirmala Bhelota Jai Gauranger Nam Lai Tar Hoi Premodai Tare Mui Jai Balihari Gauranga Gurnete Jhure Nitya Leela Tare Sure Sejana Bhakti Adhikari Gaurangera Sangi Garne Nitya Siddha Kari Mane Shri Jai Brajendra Sutapash Shri Gauda Mandala Bhumi Jai Bhajane Chintamani Tar Hoi Braja Bhume Bash Gora prema Rasharnabe Shaitarange Jeba Dube Shri Radha Madhav Antaranga Grihe Baba Nete Take Ha Gauranga Bole Dake Narotama Mage Tarashanga Narotama Mage Tarashanga Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktangs Isham Ishavatarakam Tatprakashang Satsat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sanghakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudodaya Pushpavanto Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakam Namami Bhakta Shakti Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavada Tau Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishvambharo Dvijavaro Yoga Dharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Anarapita Chirin Chirat Karunyavatirnau Kalau Samapyata Munatuj Songs for Bhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridya Kandare Spuritu Sachinandana Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga Duti Pada Jaradana Shampada Shejane Bhakti Rasa. This is one of the innumerable songs in the Gauriya Vaishnav Kirtan Padavali Gauriya Vaishnav Canon, glorifying Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll go through it line by line and give a quick translation and then come back and comment line by line. Gauranga Duti Pada Jaradhan Shampada Sejane Bhakati Rashasha. For such a person for whom the wealth and the possessions are the two lotus feet of Gauranga, such a person knows the essence of the mellows of pure devotion. Gaurangera madhur leela jar karne prabeshila hriday nirmal bhelotar. For a person in whose ears has entered the topics of the sweet pastimes of Gauranga, that person's heart becomes spotless and pure. Jai Gauranga Nam Loy Tara Hoy Premodoy Tare Mui Jai Bali Hari. Whoever takes the name of Gauranga, in Bengali it's the literal translation is to take the name of Gauranga. It means to speak it, to chant it. Jai Gauranga Nam Loy, whoever takes the name of Gauranga, then prem, love of Krishna, arises within them. To such a person, Narotam Das Thakur says, he's the author of this song, he says that I congratulate such a person. Gauranga gunete jhure nitya leela tare svure sejan bhakati adhikari. Whoever cries upon hearing of the qualities of Gauranga, the eternal pastimes, Krishna in Vrindavan, of Gauranga in Navadvip, the eternal pastimes, they manifest to him, appear to him. Such a person is eligible to perform devotional service. Gaurangera Shangi Gane Nitya Siddha Karimane Shejai Brajendra Shutapash. Whoever considers or recognizes that the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are eternally perfect, such a person goes to live with Krishna in Vrindavan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Shri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani Tar Hoy Braja Bhume Bash. Whoever considers the land of West Bengal to be completely spiritual in the same way as that of Vrindavan, such a person lives in the land of Vrindavan. Gaura Prema Rasharnabe She Tarange Jiba Dube She Radha Madhava Antaranga. Who becomes drowned or submerged in the waves of the ocean, of the mellows of love of Gauranga, or that Gauranga gives. Such a person must be understood to be an intimate associate of Radha Madhava. Grihe babonete take ha Gauranga balerdake Narotama mage tarashanga. Narotam Das says that I beg the association, I desire the association of anyone who calls out, Ha Gauranga. Ha is, what's the word? It's something you call out. In English it would be more like, hey, Ha Gauranga. Whoever calls out like that, whether that person is a married person or a renunciant, Narotam begs for his association. So this is a song, kirtan. Yeah, it's a song, it's a kirtan, means it's poetry, but it's written with the aim of being sung. Poetry naturally lends itself to being sung. So we can chant in song with instruments also. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Shopanisha, anything composed in poetic form naturally lends itself to song. And the whole body of Narotam song is known as Narotam Sangeet. Unfortunately, more famous in Bengal is Rabindranath Sangeet or Baul Sangeet. The songs, but Narotam Sangeet should be better known. Narotam is also very well known. One of in Bengali culture, talking about the broader Bengali culture, the Narotam is definitely one of the big names in singing, and singing is a very big thing in Bengali culture. Narotam Das has composed this song. How does Narotam, what's his connection to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? How does he know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He never saw him, never talked to him. He appeared in this world after the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So how can he be so worked up about someone he never saw? Well, we get a clue from the song itself. Gauranga Shangi Gane Nitya Siddha Karimani. Narotam Das is an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya. We say, he didn't associate with him. He came afterwards. Yes, he's an eternal associate. But he was sent a little later. We find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's described that before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and by the arrangement of the internal potency of Krishna, the elders, those devotees who in their role in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, those who are elder to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they appear before him. So even Madhavendra Puri, he was so elder that he wasn't seen at all by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Ishwara Puri, Advaita Acharya, Srivas, and of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's parents, Jagannath and Shachi, they all appeared before him. And some came somewhat contemporaneous, more or less the same age, Gadadha, Jagadananda, so many others. And one came very late. The last one, it's not thought that he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was considered the last disciple of Nityananda Prabhu, who remained in this world considerably more time than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The last disciple of Nityananda was Vrindavan Das Thakur. So they all appeared in the same time. But Narotam came later, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew he was coming because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reserved a stock of prem for Narotam Das. That he's going to come later, and I'm keeping this prem, and he will get it. He kept it in the river Padma, which flows downstream from the Ganga. There are two streams. One turns to... Actually, Ganga goes on the path of Bhagirath. And then what appears to be the main course of the river continues east into East Bengal, Padma River. And Narotam appeared close to the banks of that river, and the prem was kept at the place where he went to bathe. He went to bathe one day, and a little distance from his paternal home. And as a young boy, the prem was delivered to him. So he's full of it, completely, full of love for Gauranga. And he did actually see Gauranga and all his associates, because by his kirtan installing the deities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so many other deities he's installed, and all the Mahantas, all the great Vaishnavas at that time, some who are still direct associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were still in the world, and many others at the time, they were all present, and by their ecstatic kirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and all the great devotees, the kirtan was so ecstatic that they could not but personally appear and participate in that kirtan. And everyone saw. Narotam Das, he personally saw. But all the time he sees, because Nitya leela tare svure, the eternal pastimes are always appearing in his heart. And therefore he has been able to sing so feelingly about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. The Vaishnav culture is, especially the Gauriya culture, it's feeling culture, which means the emotions, open up to the spiritual emotions, let go the material emotions, let go the material attachments, become in touch with our real being, which is Raso Vaisaha. The Supreme Lord is full of rasa, sweet, dripping. It may not be sweet also. Madhurja Bhagavata Sa. The essence of rasa is sweetness. But there are also other tastes, other flavors, other emotions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us that we as living beings and He as the supreme living being is at the core of our being. We are emotional beings, and emotion means in relation to others. He, Gauranga, or more precisely we can say philosophically, the center of all love is Krishna, Krishna himself. We are meant for love. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. He teaches by example as an Acharya. He manifests that love in his own behavior. He manifests that. And others, they are stricken with that to greater or lesser extent. Narotam Das Thakur has opened this song by introducing us to the 2 feet of Gauranga. Here he addresses him as Gauranga. And generally in the Vaishnava Padavali, the collection of kirtans, and in the conversation of Gauriya Vaishnavas, they will refer to him as Gauranga, more than Chaitanya. We can say Krishna Chaitanya is his official name. He has so many names. Krishna Chaitanya is his official name, and Gauranga, Gaura Hari, Gaura Sundar, Gaura, and so many other names are the names by which the devotees, they intimately remember him, and also we often refer to him as Mahaprabhu, as is common in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, even just Prabhu is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. They, in designating Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, often it's just written Prabhu. Prabhu Kohe. Prabhu Kohe, Kohilam e Mahamantra. So if Vrindavan Das or Krishnadas Kaviraj has to introduce that now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching, is speaking, then you say Prabhu Kohe to introduce. So and is often mentioned. Officially, Ek Mahaprabhu a Prabhu Dvijan Dvi Prabhu Shaven Mahaprabhu Racharan. Officially, there is Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and 2 Prabhus, 2 manifestations of the personality of Godhead in the Panchatattva, Nityananda and Advaita, and the 2 Prabhus serve the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this Narotam Das introduces us to the 2 feet of Gauranga. You may say, well, why just the feet? Why not the ankles and the shanks and the knees and the thighs and the hips and the waist and the chest and the neck and the head and the hair? Why not all of this? Well, it's very generous to introduce us to the feet of Gauranga. We have to approach at the feet. We are, even Nityananda and Advaita serve the feet of Gauranga. So Narotam Das is being extremely generous with us by offering us to meditate on the feet of Gauranga. Even Raghunath Das and others, they worship the breeze carrying the aroma of the body of Radha. That's removed, you can say. So, Narotam introduces us directly to the feet, but that's very generous, because even a drop of, even dust, one speck of dust from the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is enough to, there's so much power in there to inundate all the worlds with nectar. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, known as encyclopedic scholar, was the disciple of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, about whom he commented that all the knowledge of the Vedas, all the knowledge, all the realization, there's so many great scholars, they have studied and learned so many things, but all the knowledge of everything, of the spiritual reality, everything is contained in just a speck from a piece of dust from the lotus feet of my Guru Dev. So Narotam Das is being very generous in offering us so much, and not even 1 foot, but 2 feet. He's offering, or he's offering us that we shall meditate. Dhimahi, we shall meditate on the lotus feet of Gauranga. This will seem very strange to people who are interested in Dhanaishvarya Prajapsava, who are interested in wealth, money, home, family, children, materialistic way of life. They cannot relate to this at all. Narotam Das says, Gaurangera duti pada jara dhana sampada she jane bhakti rasa, whose wealth, whose possessions are the 2 feet of Gauranga. Such a person knows the essence of bhakti. Jara dhana sampada. And another commonly used term is sarvasva, my all in all. That everything I have. Mama sarvasva radha madana mohano in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj also prays, my all in all. I have nothing else. There's nothing but the lotus feet of Gauranga. It means that, just like the materialist, he always thinks of money and how to increase his wealth. I got so much today. How much was the profit today? And just as a materialist is always thinking how to increase his wealth, the devotee, his wealth, what is the important, what is his life, what is his meditation? The 2 lotus feet of Gauranga. And one who has such wealth in their life, they don't desire anything else. They find, well, it's just like the materialists. They just can't imagine why anyone would want to give up the pursuit of wealth and prestige and sense enjoyment just for some dust, some dust of some religious person, kind of person who couldn't make it in life, and they just wander around and sing and beg, and someone feeds them, and such people are failures. What do you want to? Why should anyone who is in a position to make money and earn and get ahead and be successful, why on earth should anyone? It's just they cannot calculate it. It just doesn't work. It's something like trying to run a Mac program on Windows, and it just doesn't. There's no communication. There's no connection. They can't understand at all. And nor do they think about it even. It's just nothing. It's something they're not interested in whatsoever. They don't even want to waste their time thinking of it. So in the same way, someone who has got the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as their dhana sampada, their interest in prestige, wealth, position, money, home, all the... No, nothing. It's aranya rodana. It's just like you're in the village and deep in the forest, someone is crying out and you don't even hear, and even if you hear, it's just nothing to do with you. It's just nothing, no interest, nothing. For such a person, they know the essence of devotion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how is he going to... Who is going to come when everyone in this world is after money? They may not be very materialistic in the sense of, let me get so much, let me become a rich man. They may just be simple, satisfied. Yeah, I got a little land, got a cow, I've got a wife, children, all of this. That is their dhana sampada. How will they be interested in, if they're content, if they're complacent in their dhana ishvarya prajapsava, at their level, their sangsar, their family life, at their level, they're not aspiring to be a multi-trillionaire or any such thing. But at their level, they're satisfied. And how will attachment to Gauranga Mahaprabhu's lotus feet be awakened? How is that possible? Well, the answer is Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. That is the answer. By leaving his sangsar, by leaving his home life, which was not a cause of material bondage, who meditates on the home life of Mahaprabhu with Lakshmi Priya, Vishnu Priya, they become liberated from the bondage of home life. We find at the Yoga Pit in Mayapur. Today everyone is running to the Yoga Pit in Mayapur, the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We see there on the central altar there is Jagannath, Subhadra, Baladev, Radha, Madhava, and then there is Gauranga Mahaprabhu with Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya. This is his family life. But he left that. Tyagva sudaschaja prajapsava. What is that? Tyagva sudaschaja prajapsava. Raja Lakshmi. He left all that to Anvadhava, to run after the Maya Mrigam, those of us who are just like dolls, toy animals in the hands of Maya. He left all that. He went out in Navadvip. The Parshandis, the atheists, the infidels, the blasphemers, they were not allowed to participate in the kirtans at the house of Srivas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left Navadvip. He never leaves Navadvip, but he left Navadvip. And he went out into the world and performed kirtan openly. So everyone came to follow him. Everyone, thousands of people followed him. He left home. He went to Puri. He came back. Then, especially in Bengal, it's described. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he is the Lord of all the worlds, he comes to deliver the whole world, but he has special compassion special affection for the people of Bengal. So he came back, and the people, wherever he went, the people, they would, wherever his lotus feet touched the ground, they ran, and people would take dust, and so many people took the dust from that place. There was potholes made in the ground everywhere. So he was, and then he went to Navadvip, and he returned to Navadvip, and then again he went north to Gora, what is now known as Malda. He went north to Gora in the name of going on the way to Vrindavan. That would be the Rajapat, the way, because from the capital of Gora on the way to Vrindavan, that would be the road going through the capital. So that would be a well-maintained road. Otherwise, the path is along the Ganga. And then the Yamuna. So he went along there, and again, so many people came. They were following him. He would be going along the road chanting, Hare Nama Krishna, Jadavai Namaha, Jadavai Madhavai, Keshavai Namaha, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He was walking. For Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, walking is dancing. Natyam gamanam. Walking, dancing. And people are astonished. Is he a demigod? What is this? So tall figure. And ajanulambita bhujo. His hands stretched down to his knees, the signs of a great personality. And even though the sun shines so brightly in Bengal, in most of India throughout the day, but as he goes along the road, his brightness is brighter than, illuminating the day even more than the sun. People are astonished, simply astonished. And they leave everything and just follow him. The men are plowing in the fields along the side of the path. And they hear some pandemonium in the distance, and they can see the dust rising. They wonder, what is this? But they don't feel that it may be. It's something unusual. You don't get much unusual in the village. It's a very stereotype kind of life. You think there's every day you get up in the morning, do your work in the field, come back. It's a very not exciting way of life. There's no TV or cell phones or news about what's going on in some war in Europe. There's no such thing. So this is something very unusual. But those who are plowing the field, they don't feel some fear. Generally, when there's something unusual, you feel some fear. That's described in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, when in the distance the people could see the dust clouds and they could realize these are the rogues and robbers coming to plunder us. They felt fear, but they don't feel fear. They feel anticipation. Something very good is coming. So they're plowing their field, or they may be sitting, eating their midday tiffin, and then they see Gauranga emerging from the dust cloud, just like we have there's a word, one word for evening is godhuli. It means the time in the evening when the cows are brought back to the village, and so many cows coming, and naturally the dust, because the roads are dust roads. They're just worn paths that are worn by people walking, people and animals. If you go in the forest, you'll find there are so many pathways. They're not made by humans. They're made by animals who go along the same pathway. So this is made by human and animals, and especially cows, heavy body with hard hooves, and so many of them come, bringing the cows back from the pasturing ground, so much dust will go in the air. So this description is given of Krishna also. Krishna and the cowherd boys, when they come back from the pasturing grounds, they're very dusty. And then Yashoda and the other mothers, they bathe their darling children. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's coming on the road, and there's dust. So even though his body, there's dust, but still it shines so brightly, and people taking their meal, whatever they may be doing. The women are feeding their children, and it's just like the gopis. When Krishna plays his flute, they don't think, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? They're pulled. Krishna means akarshak, just like a magnet. They're just pulled, just like a piece of iron. A piece of iron filing doesn't think when it comes in the range of the magnet. It doesn't think, should I go to the magnet? It just automatically is pulled. So people, they leave their bulls, they leave their meal in the middle, they don't even wash their hand, the women put aside carry their babies, and just run. And they run, they follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along the road, and he goes on and on and on, and they don't think, I've got my dhana sampada, I've got my home, my family, my duties, everything I have. It's just forgotten, everything forgotten immediately. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he attracts. He came as Krishna. Not everyone was attracted to him. Even though he's so beautiful, so sweet, so loving, so glorious for those who are interested in glory more than sweetness. But still many people were attracted to him. And many others were not attracted to him also, because they're so envious. They're so envious, thinking, oh, he's so powerful. He's so powerful. I want to be powerful. Why is he showing himself more than me? The demons, they did not become attracted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's taking the position of a devotee. So he's not in competition. He's not in the minds of the demons someone to compete with me. So those who are the demons, there are different kind of demons in this pastime. So we'll get through to that also. Mostly the scholarly types. Those who think, I don't need this. For those who've done their sampada, they think, I know about God. I know everything. I don't need to hear from this Chaitanya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking the position of a devotee and just love of Krishna, what is everyone's real need, prema prayojana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that Krishna prema is our prayojana, that is our need. He taught that to those who needed to learn. But for so many others, they didn't think, they didn't know what was going on, they didn't know any philosophy. They just ran to him and followed him. So, just they were attracted. There was no, who is this person? No, well, what is he? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Where does he fit in the social order? He doesn't fit in anywhere. He's shaved head. Shaved head means you're outside the Vedic rules. You're not in a normal position. You shave your head upon death in the family. So you can't take part in any Vedic rituals. It's temporarily you're outcast, so to speak. Then an adulterous woman, her head may be shaved. The Buddhist monks, they shave their heads to show we have nothing to do with the Vedas. So a sannyasi, his head is shaved, but he's permanently outside the Vedic rules. Of course, he has rules for himself, but as far as the standard Vedic rules that everyone has to follow, he's not part of that. The Vedic rules mostly people follow. Trigunya Vishaya Veda. They want something within this material world. They follow the Vedic rules. Bhogaishvarya prasaktanam taya parita chetasam. Because they want wealth in this world. They want dhanna sampad. They want to feel happy in this world. And dhanna sampad, again, it may just be you have a little house in the village and you have a family and this and that. But even in the village, I see that people are so concerned about their prestige and their position at their level in their village society. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his head is shaved. He's not one of us. He declares by the shaven headed of a sannyasi, he is not one of us. Then why will they run to him? They don't think why they run to him. They don't think. They just automatically they have to go. Because we, all of us, we have nothing to do with the dhanna sampad of this world. Nothing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brings us immediately to our spiritual position. Immediately. Nothing in between. There's no going through varnashram, life after life, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavang mang prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. There's no going through all of that. Even after many births, someone may come to the level of understanding that Vasudeva is all in all. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes us, Bhakti Rasa Shah, further still. Those who have made their all in all, the lotus feet of Gauranga. Those who have made the lotus feet of Gauranga, they're all in all. It doesn't mean that they're deprived of anything else about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but just the entrance is at his feet. The entrance is via Prabhupada, the devotee at the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Through his mercy, we can have access. He positions himself at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ready to embrace him, but he positions himself at the lotus feet and teaches us we should approach at the feet. Gane prayasamudapasya namanta eva. Not thinking, I'm on the same level, I know so much, but ready to bow down. Then we can have access to everything that Gora has come to give. How much can we take? How much can we know? How much can we understand? The key to understanding is, as this verse suggests, is standing under. Namanta, getting down. Naman koro, bow down, bow down. Then, if we bow down, we're so fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may place his lotus foot on our head, as he did with Sanatana Goswami. When Sanatana Goswami approached for understanding, Keami, Keneyame, Jare Tapa Troy. Ihanahi Jani, Kemane Hitohoi. When Sanatana Goswami, such a great learned scholar in his secular life, and even apart from his secular life, he was a great scholar of Shastras. He said that, he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who am I? Who am I? Why do I suffer from the threefold miseries of material existence? And everything else, you tell me. I don't know even how to ask you what is for my proper benefit. So he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put his feet on Sanatana Goswami's head. Yes. Bhakti Adhikari. You are the worthy person to know all these things. That is given by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these things. But for those whose dhana sampad, there's another kind of person who's not interested in the dhana sampad of this world. Someone who is very concerned with knowledge. Now, someone may be concerned with knowledge. There are different kinds of pandits. Someone may be concerned with knowledge so as to get a prestigious position in the court of the king, to be favored with gifts of land and gold. And there are others who are interested in knowledge. They just find it fascinating. There may be people even, there are people at the present time who they get into science or something like science and scholarship in the university, and they're not particularly concerned how they'll get a lot of money. They want their tenure, so they'll get their regular salary. But their real interest in life is studying whatever, something, the studying quarks or mathematics or whatever. That is their life. That is their interest. That is what occupies their attention. When they wake up in the middle of the night, that is what they think of. When they go to sleep at night, that is what they think of. When they wake up in the morning, that is what they think of. Whatever else they may be doing, that is the predominant rhythm going on in their mind and in their consciousness. So there may be another kind of person who's very interested in knowledge of Shastra and becoming detached from this world, and they're not interested in getting a lot of money. They're very learned, but it's very hard for them because they don't have a taste for the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very hard for them to get out of the consciousness of prestige. So we find even among Mayavadi sannyasis, that is described Prakashananda, very highly respected, and that respect is very important to them. We see that at Kumbh Mela, all the different sadhus and sannyasis, they're so renounced from the world, but they're very concerned who takes bath first, to show who's the best, who's the topmost, who's the most prestigious sadhu. So such persons, they may be very knowledgeable, but they by their attitude, they're disqualified from being a devotee or being a pure devotee. That pride of thinking I know so much, that is a bigger obstacle, even though one may be Brahmin, following all the rules, maybe worshipping Vishnu, but the pride of thinking I'm a Brahmin, or I'm very good, I'm very highly placed, I'm very pure, that blocks the otherwise instant flow of devotion. That even the simple people, so many simple people ran to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Prakashananda, when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, he said, what is this? He's a sannyasi and he's surrounded by all these low-class people. Sannyasis, they should have more sense of respect to uphold the sannyas ashram. That's what he was thinking. He's just some sentimentalist. You see, Varanasi, so many people come, the local village leaders who gather a bunch of sentimentalists around them, and they sing some religious songs, and it's just all nonsense. And it is all nonsense. Prakashananda saw that, and he thought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like that. Maybe something more than others, because he has so many followers. But he couldn't recognize, because one thing, the heart had become hard by Mayavad. Another thing, and they're very much related, the pride of thinking, I'm a great Brahmana, sannyasi, and scholar, and I know so much. So that cut them off from being able to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had to get it in a different way. He had to convince them in the scholarly way. That Prataparudra Maharaj, when he first saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he couldn't come close from the balcony of his palace, his residence in Puri. His main palace was in Kartak, little distance. So he was there with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. First time he saw all the devotees dancing, and each one of them was as radiant as the sun. And he'd heard kirtan many times, but he'd never, what is this kirtan? What is this kirtan? This is something, he'd never experienced such a thing. And then he was surprised, because the kings, they would be surrounded by very learned people, supposed to be surrounded by brahmanas. They're very learned. Just like even in the governments of the world today, the people who are appointed to the cabinet, the ministers' post, they should know. Someone who's studied economics or studied political science or studied foreign affairs, such persons should be appointed to be the ministers. But the problem in the modern age is that they're not brahmanas. They're not detached from this world. They don't offer advice in a manner which is for the benefit of all. They don't know what is the benefit of all. They're just thinking of the benefit for themselves. And maybe in rare cases, they may be thinking of the benefit of the country, which they're supposed to be representing. But first and foremost, they're concerned with their own post and their own prestige and their own, how much they can get out of being in this position. So kings are surrounded by brahmanas who have no personal interest. They're not supposed to have personal interest. They advise on the basis of dharma. The ministers are chosen very carefully. Not that they have to be seen to be selfless. Otherwise, they're very dangerous for the king. If they're cultivating personal ambition, then they're a rival to the king, just like we have in the cabinet, in the British political system. There's the prime minister and the cabinet members. He can't be totally open with his cabinet members because he knows they're all aspiring for his post. But the brahmanas, they don't aspire for the post of the king. They wouldn't take it even if it was offered to them. It's below their dignity. It's not their dharma, so they can advise. So the king they can advise in a manner which is actually beneficial. So the king is surrounded, in the Vedic culture, the king is surrounded by, well, his advisors. He has very good people and very learned people. Now, Prataparudra Maharaj, he was with the most learned person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And he had learned from Sarvabhauma that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So he put a question to Sarvabhauma. Raja kahe shastra pramane Chaitanya hon Krishna. Tabe kene pandit shab tahate bitrishna. The king said to Sarvabhauma, the conclusion of the scripture is that this person, Chaitanya, he is Krishna. Why is it then that the greatly learned persons, the pundits, do not recognize that? They're indifferent to him. They don't thirst for him. Prataparudra was thirsting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was the natural consequence of the pure soul in association with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Or even if one is not very pure, then by that association, the impurities of millions of lifetimes are just washed away by the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the natural heart's proclivity to thirst after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is awakened. But for the pundits, it doesn't happen at all. Bitrishna. It's almost as if they're repelled. Then Sarvabhauma gave the same answer that his brother-in-law, Gopinath Acharya, had given to him just a short time ago when Sarvabhauma at that time refused to accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he said to Gopinath, hey, come on, you're a big scholar, you're quoting so many things. I'm also a big scholar. So what's the big thing? Why are you saying that you can understand that he, Chaitanya, is Bhagavan, he is God, and you're saying those who've got the mercy can understand? Well, that's the answer. Atapi te deva padambuja dvaya prasada leshanu grihita evahi janati tatvang Bhagavan mahim no nachanya eko pi chirang vichinvan. Quoting from Lord Brahma, who himself a big brains, not just one big brain, but 4 big brains, our Brahma. And he realized that I can't understand Krishna. But I can understand if I get a little drop of his mercy. And that's true of everyone. That you may be very, very, very intelligent, but won't understand anything whatsoever about Krishna. We have people they call polymath or genius. Whatever they apply their mind to, they can pick it up, they can understand. They're so intelligent. But even such persons, they cannot even begin to understand Krishna. They cannot even begin to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because they're blocked by their pride, by their entrenchment in their attitude toward life. They may be thinking outside the box, seemingly, just like all the advances in science, they're all by thinking outside the box. Einstein thinks outside the box, and therefore he comes up with his relativity theories. Who could imagine space and time being a continuum? Who could think of such a thing? And all the advances in science come by thinking outside the box. But what they don't understand is they've jumped outside the box, but they're inside another much bigger box that they don't understand. They're in the box called Maya, forgetfulness of Krishna. And they can't imagine that someone, some village person who's just plowing with his bulls, can know more than them. But they do if they become attracted, if they come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because knowing is not simply a matter of the brain power. Even without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without the mercy of Krishna, then even if one is a tremendous scholar, highly intelligent, highly learned, and goes on life after life cultivating more and more knowledge, he won't get any clue about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He might do. He might do a comparative religion course or study in the university, but just licking the bottle of honey from the outside. Because knowledge ultimately leads to Rasa. Rasovai saha. He is Rasa. That Rasa, that is to be tasted. It's not something simply to be quantified and measured. We can quantify and we can get some honey and quantify and measure. What is its density? What is its composition? And then what's the word? I can't remember exactly. Whether it's grainy or just homogeneous. What is the sugar content? What is the content of propolis in it? And how much of this vitamin and that mineral, and its source and where it came from, how old it is. You can make so much you can quantify and measure it and describe it in so many ways, but you'll never, it is not possible to understand the taste of it unless you taste it, unless you put it on your tongue. Then you can taste. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching is tasting is knowing. He teaches also, but tasting is knowing. And therefore, and who can taste? Those who have faith. The Pandits, because they've seen so many things, they've looked here, they've looked there, they've considered this, they've considered that. They've looked from so many different perspectives. They know that if you bring an argument, someone can knock it down, and then how to knock that counter-argument down, and they're expert in this kind of thing. But they can't put their faith in a principle which demands only faith, because that's not the way they work. We ask them just to have faith. They want to examine everything first. Therefore they cannot understand. And the simple person who's plowing his bulls in the field, he can understand, because dinere adhik daya kare Bhagavan kulin pandit dhani bara abhiman. someone who's very simple, who's fallen in the eyes of people of aristocratic society, very learned, very wealthy, people who are looked down upon. They get the mercy of Bhagavan more easily than persons who are thinking in terms of, I am so big, prestigious. Their pride cuts them off. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, Trinadapi sunichena torori vasahishna. Amanina amanadena kirtaniya sada harihi. We have to chant the holy names always, but what is that? What is the clue? What's going to awaken that within our heart? Harshe Prabhu kahe Svarup Damodar Kalo Nam Sankirtan Paramopai. In this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu happily told Svarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai, in this Kali Yuga, the method of God realization is Nama Sankirtan. So, what is the way? What do you have to do? Is it simply uttering? But Ki rupe nam loile prema upajai. How will we chant the names in such a way that love of Krishna will awaken in our hearts? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Chunadapi sunichena tarari vasahishna amanina amanadena kirtane sada harihi. One who considers himself very fallen and lowly, who's very tolerant, who's not interested in prestige, who likes to praise others. Such a person can actually chant in such a, if one chants in such a mood, then love of Krishna will begin to arise in the heart. So persons who are not concerned with prestige, who are, now we have this word in India, Dalit. Previously they were called Asprishya, untouchable, Chandal, Chamar. They were considered the outcasts, yes, outcasts. Then Mahatma Gandhi comes along and calls them Harijans. But they didn't like to be called that. And it was an inaccurate term. Well, not totally inaccurate, because everyone is by essence Harijan, but now they like the term Dalit. They like to wallow in the misery of being crushed underfoot. And in this way they want to remain a Dalit, because in that way they can always demand. Anyway, I'm not talking about politics here. It's all politics. So those who are at the bottom of society, they've got nothing to aspire for. They're not going to become rich. By their birth, they're not aristocratic. That's it, finished for life. As soon as you're born in the lower caste, or then you're not. If you're born in a certain family, that's it. You're fixed. You can't change your family. You can't change your fate in the rigid caste system of India, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not a great fan of, not supportive of. So they're forced to be humble. They're forced to tolerate being insulted, this and that. So being lowly and fallen is not in and of itself a pass to the spiritual world, but patita pavana hetu tava avatar. Lord Chaitanya especially comes to purify those who are very fallen, patita pavana. He comes to purify those who are very fallen. So one who identifies himself as being fallen, who recognizes, I am fallen, we say to the Dalits, you should recognize you're fallen, but we also say to the people in higher castes, you should recognize you're fallen. Because we're all fallen in this material world. It's just a matter of recognizing it. So those who are very low in the estimation of human society, they have a head start in recognizing that I'm fallen. But it's very hard for people who's, from the beginning of life, they've been enculturated in trying to, identifying with a prestigious position and cultivating that and increasing that. So it's very, very hard for them to come out of that. So, dinere adhik daya kare Bhagavan. Those who are very fallen, they get more mercy of the Supreme Lord. But those who are trying to cultivate a prestigious position by their knowledge and their learning and their birth and their wealth, those whose dhana sampad, their wealth is not Gauranga duti pada, the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga. For them, how will they know? They cannot know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very mercifully took the time to sit and speak with Sarvabhauma Prakasha. And then so many scholars, especially in his tour of South India. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's real interest was chanting and dancing and tasting the nectar of the holy names and distributing that nectar to one and all. He thought, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, after he spoke with Sarvabhauma, and Sarvabhauma became converted to a life of devotion, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, now I have conquered the world. Not in the sense of a Digvijay Pandit, going here and there trying to conquer, but now my mission has become successful. Because if even people like this can take to Krishna consciousness, then what to speak of others? The most difficult cases. Those who think they are closest to God are the most difficult cases to bring to God by that very pride. The same thing in the time of Jesus. The Pharisees, the scribes and the Pharisees, those who thought they were very close to God, Jesus, he didn't have much good to say about them. He thought they're simply showing off. So one who has made the 2 feet of Gauranga, their wealth, their all in all, they can know the essence of devotion. Yeah, 2 feet. No, I'll just take 1 foot, and I'll keep some space in my heart for materialism, for my own enjoyment. No, you take it all or nothing. Pure devotion, anyabhilashita shunyam, not aspiring for anything else. Such a person knows the essence of devotion, the cream. Saram ihudahritam, sarvavetetihasanam, saram ihudahritam. Bhagavatam, the cream of all the Vedic knowledge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed what is the cream of Vedic knowledge, the Bhakti Rasa. So many people had been studying the Bhagavatam and devotees before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave what is the essence. It's there in the Bhagavatam. But others couldn't see it. Or if they saw it, they didn't want to see it. The other scholars of Bhagavatam, Madhvacharya, he also recognized in Krishna and the gopis, but at that time he, appropriate to the time, he did not give importance to the gopis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed that. Gopis, Radha. Radha's name is not even directly in Bhagavatam. This is the essence of Sejane Bhakati Rasa. In other sampradayas, Vaishnava sampradayas, worshipable Vaishnavas, they think that bhakti is a means to get the favor of the... It's a means to get liberation and go to the spiritual world. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches that bhakti, what is the purpose of doing bhakti? Bhakti. There is no purpose. But bhakti, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, bhakti, it's not a means to get anything. It is in one sense, but it's the means and the end. In other words, we don't do bhakti so we can get something else. But we do bhakti because we like to serve Krishna. And that in itself is the perfection. So that's the first very big step. If we're going to talk about knowledge and discussion, jnane bhakti rasa, knowing what is the essence of bhakti. But bhakti rasa, that emotional exchange with Krishna, comes when, or that is magnified millions of times when we serve Krishna only for the sake of serving Him. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Without any personal desire, even the desire for liberation, even the desire for liberation to the spiritual world, to serve the Lord there. Even that I will get a position of kainkarya, service close to the Lord. But even that, of course, bhakti means to serve the Lord, but to think that, yes, I will be delivered from the miseries of this world, I'll go to the spiritual world, I'll live there very happily, even that, at the highest stages of his teachings, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no. That's where one is doesn't matter. Either in this material world or in the spiritual world. If one actually has a haituki bhakti, that means in any circumstance one will... It's not dependent on circumstance. One's only concern is to please Krishna. Krishnate akhila cheshta. Everything done for the service of Krishna. It's relatively easy to speak about these things. But that we have to beg as a gift from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That only for him, the mood that Mother Yashoda has, if a little speck of perspiration comes on Krishna's forehead, and he's feeling a little inconvenience with that, Mother Yashoda is prepared to die millions of times just to remove that little inconvenience. This is inconceivable. But this kind of love is reciprocated with Krishna, who is the reservoir, the unlimited stock, the unlimited ocean of love. And that love which comes from wanting to give oneself fully to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. And that is the heart-to-heart feeling, which is the essence of bhakti. And that is manifest in Vrindavan, and especially in the gopis, and especially in Radha. But it's so secret. No one knows. Who knows? Who can know? They can know by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jadi Gaur na hoito, tobe ki hoito, kemone dharitande. Radhar mahima prema rasa shima, jagate janatoke. Who could have known this topic? Who could have known about Radha? Who can inform? You can write books, but who can give that? And what would have been the purpose of our living, says the poet, Basu Ghosh. What would be the purpose of our living if he had not come to teach the glories of Radha? Who could have known? It's not only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could come to give that. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could come because he is Krishna taking the position of Radha, and he as Krishna who knows everything about everybody, everywhere, at all times, he does not know Radha. Her glories are too great even for him to imagine. And the Vaishnavas, they will think this is blasphemy. How can you say that Krishna doesn't know something? But Krishna himself feels like that. I don't know. I can take the position of Radha to know. That's all. But even then, how can he know? Radha, she's not interested in her own glories. She doesn't have any such ambition. Krishna, he may have some ambition. He is, after all, God. But Radha has no interest in being God. It's her expansion in all the universes, her Durga, she is the goddess who create under her jurisdiction, the creation, Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sada, everything goes on under her jurisdiction. She's not in this. She's not interested. She's only interested in Krishna, in Vrindavan. She's interested in Krishna, the cowherd boy. She's not. Opulence is there. She wants Krishna. Her love for Krishna, Krishna cannot match. He's defeated by the gopis. Yayata mang prapadyante tangs tathaiva bhajame aham. Krishna says, you love me, I'll love you in reciprocation. How much you want to love me? Okay, I'll reciprocate back. Defeated. Defeated by the gopis. And among them all, the love of Radha is most. So Krishna himself cannot understand, but he, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Radha, and is Krishna trying to understand Radha, but he's also Radha wanting to give Krishna to others. Radha wanting to give Krishna to others, at the same time, Krishna recognizing that Krishna, oh, yes, Krishna is very good. But who is this Radha? Who is this Radha? He wants to glorify Radha because that is prema rasa shima. That is the limit. There is no limit, but there's a limit to how far can we go? How far can we go? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu questioning Ramananda Rai. Sadhya sadhana tattva. Well, what is the goal of life and how to attain it? Varnashram, that's a start. It's not incorrect. But there's further to go. There's further to go. There's further to go. Then you come up to hearing about Krishna in a humble mood. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukaritam bhavadiya vartam. Hearing about Krishna in a humble mood. And that opens the door to Bhakti Rasa. Then where do we go? Then we go to Dasya Rasa. Then we go to Sakya Rasa. Then we go to Vatsalya Rasa. then we come to the love of the gopis, then we come to the love of Radha, and then the little bit is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ramananda, Svarup Damodar, they know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows. The 6 Goswamis, they know. Who else can know? But they've given in their books. Some of their books, they just circulate among themselves, then Grantha Samadhi. There's a limit to how close we can go. There is a limit for us. For them, they go beyond the limits. But for us, there's a limit. But that's already far, far beyond the limit of Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura. What to speak of the Brahmajyoti. This material world is just all the learning and all the wealth and all the prestige and the position, everything else in this material world is just anyone who's thinking in terms of that, and then just where are they going to go? They missed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He comes down to us, but we have to go up to meet him. We cannot keep our consciousness at the low, low level and go up to even the beginning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. That he gives us the process. Chaito Darpanamarjanam. Chant the holy names. That will purify the heart. That will begin to give us entrance. This Bhakti Rasa Shah, the Baraja Jubati Bhavera Bhakti, Madhura Brinda, Pipina Madhuri, Prabesha Chaturi Shah, Baraja Jubati Bhavera Bhakti Shakati Hoitoka. The sweet land of Vrindavan, in the sweet groves, the forests, Bipina, to enter there is the perfection of all, of everything we can do. Come to this perfection. Love of the gopis, their loving devotion. Who could give that? Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give that. And who can take that? Who has taken the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in their heart. And they have this as their dhan, shampad, and nothing else. They don't want anything else, only that. They can begin to understand. And again, it's not understanding, it's not an academic or an intellectual exercise. So we should discuss all these things. The devotees of Vrindavan, just after the departure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'd heard so many pastimes, but they wanted to hear more. That was being spoken. There are devotees who had heard things here and there. Raghunath Das especially was living in the Vrindavan area. But they wanted that should be preserved for posterity and presented in a manner that they could systematically hear it, because Raghunath Das, he may speak something sometime, another thing another time. They chose Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write on the Antya-lila of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Antya-lila means Vrindavan Das. He had written about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's early life, to use conventional language. His early life his acceptance of sannyas, going to Puri, acceptance of sannyas. But what was that that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for? Well, for us in this world, he came to give us the holy name. But that is the external reason. That's related to the external world. That's the external cause for his avatar, to give the mercy of the holy name. But what were his own internal reasons? What were his own internal reasons that Vrindavan Das, he didn't get that far in his writing Chaitanya Bhagavat, and the residents of Vrindavan wanted to know more about that, so they commissioned Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who was a disciple of Raghunath Das, and Rupa Goswami. These two especially, they had insight to that. Rupa Goswami, he didn't actually spend so much time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he understood. He understood who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. He understood his inner feelings. Therefore we pray, Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He understood his inner feelings. He can, if we go to the lotus feet of Rupa, then we can enter those inner feelings. He's written about it. He conveyed this to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And Raghunath lived with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not exactly with him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept him at a little distance. You be under Svarup. Svarup knows everything. Everything. By physically being with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and by psychic connection. Svarup Gosai Bhaganajai Barnan Prabhur Avishta Tar Kai Bhakamon. The good fortune of Svarup Damodar is indescribable, because he was as if just completely the same, absorbed, his whole consciousness, his body, mind, words, they're completely absorbed in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Complete psychic communication. He knows what's going on in the heart. Lalita with Radha, so close. Different persons, different roles, so close. And Svarup, he guided Rupa Goswami on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and guided Raghunath Das Goswami on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then they gave their mercy to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who writes at the end of almost every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadas. Desiring, aspiring for the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunath, I, Krishnadas, speak this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, he's writing. He's writing Anta Leela. If we see the Anta Leela, before that, Anta Leela, before that, there's Adi Leela and Madhya Leela. So many other things he had to write before he came to the Anta Leela. And then that also, what is the point? What is it that the devotees of Vrindavan wanted to hear about? They wanted to hear about, what is this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna wanting to understand, what is the happiness that she experiences in me? What is the beauty and the sweetness that she experiences of me? They wanted to know how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the residents of Vrindavan, wanted to know how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how did he experience this? That was particularly in the Antya Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, absorbed in the mood of Radha, in separation from Krishna. That was especially at night. It wasn't public. It's very private. Therefore, Svarup, he was privy to that. He told Raghunath. Raghunath told Krishnadas Kaviraj. Krishnadas Kaviraj wrote it. But even if we find the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the part of the Antilila where these things are being described or being attempted to describe, even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I can't do it. I'm ordered to do it, but I can't do it. I'm just attempting to do it. Madan Mohan, they're pulling the strings. I'm writing. Whatever they say, I'm writing. He said, I can't do it. It's not within my power to do it. But I'm attempting to write. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Always keeping the feet of Rupa and Raghunath on my head in this thought, in this desire. I go on writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. But that Antilila, that sweetest of the sweet of the sweet of the sweet of the sweet, which is just like poison. It's painful to hear. The external manifestation. We see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rubbing his face against the wall. The pain of that. He doesn't feel the pain. He doesn't know he's doing it. The pain within his heart of separation from Krishna. There's some description. And the visions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the feelings. This is the sweet Gauranga Madhur Leela. It's all sweet. Every word, every syllable of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sweet. But this in particular, that is... What can you say? There's nothing to say. All we can do is recite that. But that also, it's not something for fools to rush into, where angels fear to tread. Even the Gauriya Vaishnava Acharyas have cautioned us, don't go too fast. Yes, go, but be careful as you go. Be careful as you go, because immediately one cannot attain that status. One has to become purified. So hear those pastimes. Let us hear those pastimes. And then, Hriday Nirmal Bhelota. Then the heart will become purified by hearing about this. Then we get some idea of how mean and low and nasty is anything else and everything else. And we don't want that. The heart becomes purified. By this and by chanting the holy names, the heart becomes purified. So we should hear Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's not meant only for Gaur Purnima. Srila Prabhupada gave this. He translated the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's not what we talk about usually. It's not our day-to-day preaching. It's not our bread and butter. It's the cream on the cake. For day-to-day we need to tell people. Even Bhagavatam is high for people. Gita, tell them the topics of Gita. Give them the books. But that Chaitanya Charitamrita is our special, as those of us, we're so fortunate to have come to the two lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that Chaitanya Charitamrita is something very, what can we say? That is the topmost contribution. Go to the highest level, go to the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And from there, then we get so many things. It's so much higher than we are at now. Plus we have work to do here. Not only in cleaning our own hearts, but we have the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to go out among the Dina, the lowly and fallen, the place that we're coming from. We have to go back and work among those people and try to introduce them to this gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now, we've had some discussion of the first verse. Goranga Duki Pada, Jara Dhana Shampada, Shejane Bhakti Rasa Shah. Goranga Madhur Leela, Jar Karne Prabheshila, Hridoy Nirmal Bhelota. Next line, Jai Goranga Namaloy, Tar Hoy Premadoy, Tare Mui Jai Bali Hari. By hearing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Madhur Leela, very sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the heart becomes purified. We have so many unsweet things in our heart, non-nourishing, poisonous things in our heart. But that nectar of hearing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will counteract all the dirty things in our heart. And of course by chanting the holy names, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's best known instruction. Throughout Bengal, at least in Bengal, and Orissa, those who know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is most of the population, have some idea, at least. And some of them, many of them are raised in Krishna consciousness from the beginning, but what everyone knows, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the holy name, taught us to chant the holy names of Krishna. However, we're going to make some objection to this. Not exactly an objection, but taking it a little further. Why do we say chant the name of Krishna? Well, the general prescription, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastreva, 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 Gatiranyata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu famously preached that in this age of Kali there is no other way to attain the goal but to chant the names of Hari, chant the names of Hari, chant the names of Hari. And particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, following the prescription of Kali Santana Upanishad, to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhu kahilam maha. No, I'm Kali Santana Upanishad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti shorashakam nam Kali kalmashan nashakam. Natah paratarapaya sarvavedeshu drishyate. In Kali Santana Upanishad, the Upanishad that teaches us how to swim across the dangerous ocean of Kali Yuga, we find that Narada asks Brahma, how will people get by in this Kali Yuga? The answer from Brahma. He gave these 16 names. He says by these 16 names, having spoken the Mahamantra, all the impurities of Kali Yuga will be destroyed. And if one searches throughout the Vedic literature, one will not find a better method. This is it. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, quoting the Brihanaradiya Purana, said, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gati aranyata. And it's the same thing. The holy name of Hari will deliver us to the highest goal, ultimate goal. There's no other way in Kali Yuga, but especially this Mahamantra. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the same Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Prabhu kahe kahilam e Mahamantra, yaha jabagya shabe kariyane bandha, yaha hoite sharva siddhi hoibe shabar, sharva kon kaho nam vidina hiya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, this is the Mahamantra which I have taught you. Prabhu kahe kahilam e Mahamantra, yaha jabagya. Everyone should chant. Everyone should chant. What does that mean? It's mantra, not a Vedic mantra. What do you mean it's not a Vedic mantra? Well, in the Upanishads you may have Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Om is there. That's a Vedic mantra. Vedic mantra is preceded by Omkar. That can only be chanted by Dvijas, those who have been twice born. That means males from the Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya castes who have been initiated into Omkar by Brahma Gayatri. Only they can chant Vedic mantras. There are other mantras, which are tantric mantras, Puranic mantras. This Hare Krishna mantra is Mahamantra. There are several mantras which are called Mahamantra. This is the for Kali Yuga, Brahma Tarak Nam, the divine name which takes us across the Kali Yuga. But as we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's Tarak Nam which lifts us up, and Parak which takes us all the way. We're discussing the Radhar Mahima, all the way up there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everyone chant. There's no limitation, that only those who are initiated into the chanting of the Gayatri mantras, only they can chant. The Brahma Gayatri, only they can chant. Sometimes devotees are very concerned about getting Brahmin initiation. Those who are very concerned and think it's very important for them, they shouldn't be given it. They don't understand. Those who understand that chant the names, the holy names, that's all in all, then we can give. Or not give also. May give, not give. That may be given. That's mostly for deity worship, can be done. And there are, anyway, that's another big topic. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he always emphasized the holy names of Krishna. And Iha hoite sarva siddhi hoibe shaba. Not only do we get free from the sinful effects of Kali Yuga, as the Upanishad tells us, but we attain all perfection. Everything. All the way up to Vrindavan. Everything is given by this holy name. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. We should chant the holy names of Krishna. Here, Narotam Das says, Jai Gauranga Nam Lai, Tar Hoi Premadoi. What is this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to chant the name of Krishna. And Narotam Das says well, he doesn't forbid the chanting of the name of Krishna, but he's emphasizing chanting the name of Gauranga. Of course, Chaitanya is Krishna. Shastra Pramana Chaitanya Han Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayanna. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Haladanya Shakti. There's so many evidences. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. But specifically being recommended here is Gauranga Nam. Jai Gauranga Nam loi tar hoi prema doi. Chant the holy name of Krishna, yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends. But here, who chants the name of Gauranga, they will get prem. It was Nityananda who introduced this. He was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go everywhere and give the holy name of Krishna to everyone. But he thought, let me give the name of Gauranga. That will help them more. So he would go begging from door to door in Bengal, everywhere, even to the people whose the Chandala colony, which stinks of pig stool, and you don't go there. No one only the Chandalas go there. You wouldn't even want to go there. Kali temple with goats' heads on the spike outside the temple. It's horrific. Just to go there, you don't go there. You don't go there at all. They don't come to you. You don't go to them. They may come. Some cow dies. They take the cow out. They're not just untouchable. They're asprisha. They're adrisha. You don't even want to see them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, you go even to the lowest people. And he did. Advaita Prabhu said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have to deliver the lowest. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Nityananda, I can't do it. You better go and do it. I can't even deliver. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I can't even deliver the high-class people. In Navadvip, they practically drove me out of Navadvip. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was picking up everyone. He was going on the road. The road is open to everyone. Even the Chandalas, they generally won't go on the road, maybe at night. They have to keep away. This is the Vedic culture. There are many things which, if we say now in the modern age, it may not sound very palatable in our present-day concepts of political correctness. But Nityananda, he saw, they're all jivas. They have a tongue. They have a jiba. They can chant the name. So let me go. They should chant also. And that's also, Bhagavatam also says. Even the Svapacha, even the people from the dog-eating background, they can become purified completely. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically put this into practice. It was there in the Bhagavatam. There were some few cases here and there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put it into practice. And even more so Nityananda. Nityananda went to Bengal and he saw these people are going to chant Hare Krishna, but chanting Hare Krishna, you can make offenses. And not only you can make offenses, these people are going to make offenses. But Chaitanya, my Gauranga, he's so merciful. He doesn't take offenses. So he would go in Bengal and he would tell the people, Bhaja Gaur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, you go out preaching, Shuna Shuna Nityananda, Shuna Haridas, Shabatra Amaragya Karaho Prakash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Nityananda and Haridas. There was no preaching before this. The preaching movement started in Navadvip. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Nityananda Haridas. Come here. Now, I've got an order for you. My order is that you go everywhere and make my order be known. And what is my order? Prati ghare ghare giya karo ebika. You beg door to door and give people this order. Actually, there are three parts to it. Bhaja Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shikha. That you worship Krishna, chant the name of Krishna, and study Bhagavad Gita as it is. These three things. That was the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Go tell everyone. And then again he sent Nityananda from Puri to Bengal. Go and do it. Go and do it. Give love of God even to the lowest, to the Chandalas. And Nityananda thought, and Chandalas? Whatever you tell them, they tell them to chant Hare Krishna, and then next thing they're going to eat pigs, drink wine, take other intoxication. So, the only hope is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants these fallen people delivered. No one else is even thinking of them. So Nityananda told them, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga Namre. You chant, worship Gauranga, chant the names of Gauranga. Take the name of Gauranga. He didn't bother. Study, that's not for you just now. But Jai Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga, no. Jai Jan Gauranga, Bhaja Tar or Pranare. Whoever takes Gauranga, who worships in their heart, they become my heart, Nityananda said. Nityananda Pran. Nityananda is the life of Chaitanya. And Chaitanya Jivan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the life of Nityananda. So Nityananda, he gave Gauranga, who is none different from his name, to everyone. And whoever takes the name of Gauranga, Jai Gauranga, Nam Loi, Tar Hoi, Premadoi. It's the quick route, shortcut. Take the name of Gauranga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, chant Hare Krishna. So we follow his order to chant Hare Krishna. But we cannot avoid chanting the name of Gauranga. Those who chant Hare Krishna and also chant the name of Gauranga, then love for Krishna will start to, premodoi, it will start to arise in their heart. That will happen by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which comes through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, which comes through the mercy of all Sampradaya, Acharyas. So that, and Narotam there says, yes, I congratulate. Well done, you did it, you got it right. Very good. Very good. Sadhu, sadhu. You got it. Yes, this is what you should do. This is how you should spend your human life. Chant the names of Gauranga. Chant the names of Krishna. This is the proper thing to do. Tare mui jai, bali hari. Then, Gauranga gunete jure, nitya leela tare spure, sejan bhakati adhikari. Who, the person who upon hearing the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, upon hearing that he cries, to him the pastimes of the spiritual world are manifest, and such a person is eligible for devotional service. Now, yesterday I was speaking, join our movement and we'll make you cry, and I was saying how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to make us cry, but it's astonishing that I didn't think of quoting this line, Gauranga gunete jure nitya leela tare svare sejan bhakati adhikari. And there's also Pashu Paki Jure Pashana Bidore Sunijara Gunagata. Even before Narotam Das had written this song, Lochan Das had sung that by hearing about the transcendental qualities of Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the stones melt, even the animals and the birds cry, so what to speak of human beings. It didn't come in my heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the heart, he didn't. That didn't come to my mind at that time, astonishingly. Well, because it's so well known. So anyway, let us discuss it now. Who cries upon hearing the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yesterday I did discuss that, how I'd, in surprise, asked my godbrother, Kishore Prabhu, why are you crying? And he said, anyone who reads Chaitanya Charitamrita and doesn't cry, he's not a devotee. Mostly who will read Chaitanya Charitamrita? Only devotees. There are others also who read and they don't cry. Scholars. Are they the most unfortunate people in the universe? The Dimmocks and the Stewarts. And they study and they make learned comments which bring them applause from others. Svavid varahoshakarai sangstuta purusha pashuhu. Nayat karna pato petas jatu nama gadagraja. Persons who are like hogs, dogs, camels and asses get rounds of applause from other persons who are like hogs, dogs, camels and asses. But the holy name of Krishna never awakened in their heart. So the scholars, there may be the scholars who study Chaitanya Mahaprabhu but who don't believe or want to believe that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is their very best friend. Toma bina bandhuar kya chaitoma. The very best friend. They don't believe he has anything to give us. Maybe they say, well, he was good, he was a social reformer. They're so close and so far away. But those who hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with faith and hear from devotees, the natural result will be that they will cry. What exactly is the psychological process? It could be analyzed. I don't know, but it happens. Chaitanya Charitamrita. We read, we must cry. It just happens. It's just a natural consequence. You can also put chili powder in your eyes and you will cry. But this is not chili powder. It's not a material. The soul, Hridesha Juna Tishtati, the soul and the super soul are within the heart. Krishna, the Paramatma within the heart, when he hears Chaitanya Charitamrita, he cries in ecstasy. And then we also, what can we do? We're tiny little jivas. We're tiny little jivas, and if Paramatma himself is overwhelmed with ecstasy at hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita, then what shall we do? We also must cry. Not by practice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't cry by practice. But it just happens automatically. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't know why. I don't know why when I chant the name of Krishna. He told Prakashananda, my guru told me to chant. I don't know why exactly, but that's the effect. He tried to ask his guru, Kiba mantra dilo goshai, Kiba tarbal, japete mantra, karilam pagal. He tried to ask his guru, what's going on with this mantra? What kind of mantra have you given me? You told me to chant the name of Krishna and doing it, but it's a very strange mantra because mantras are supposed to deliver your mind. Mantra is the meaning of mantra, means deliver the mind, and generally you think when you chant a mantra you become very peaceful and sthita pragya, fixed in consciousness, but it's making me mad by chanting. And Ishvara Puri, he didn't answer. He didn't say, well, actually, when you do this and there's a sound and it's so many at such and such a frequency that it energizes the cells within the heart, and there's a connection with a certain area of the brain which is connected with the tear ducts, which cause. He didn't say any such thing. He just said, "Oh, you're crying with Hare Krishna. Very good, very, very good. That's it. You got it right. Tare mui jai bali hari. You got it right. Well done. Okay, now you just go and you go with others and chant and dance and deliver the whole world by this holy name." Because the Mayavadis in Varanasi had asked, well, okay, it's all right you love Krishna, but what's all this chanting and dancing? Why do you do it? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't know. My guru told me to chant, and this dancing, I don't know exactly. I just dance automatically. I don't think about why I do it. My gurus told me to spread this around and share it with others. I don't know exactly what's going on. Of course, the Vaishnava Acharias, they have analyzed in so many ways, but ultimately, again, it's to be tasted. By analyzing in a devotional mood, just as Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done in his Sri Harinama Chintamani, then we feel more happiness in contemplating the glories of the holy name. But one doesn't have to know all that. One doesn't have to be a great scholar. One simply has to chant. Just as if one tastes honey, one doesn't have to be a great scholar to understand what is the taste of honey. You don't have to know its chemical composition or what kind of flowers it was made from by the bees, from what kind of pollen. You don't need to understand any of that. And if we taste it, then we're getting the real result from the honey more than those who study it but don't taste it. But if we taste it and study it, then our experience becomes more complete. And chanting the name of Gauranga, because Hare Krishna, there's chanting the name of Radha and Krishna. And here they are combined as Gauranga with all the glory and the power and majesty of Krishna to clean our heart, and all the mercy of Radha to soften our heart. All in one name of Gauranga. And if Tara Hoy Premadoi, just going past all other stages of mental and intellectual adjustment. There's no need of any mental or intellectual adjustment for chanting this name. Just we chant. It's true of Krishna name, and more, even so for Gauranga name. Chant. And then Premadoi, love of Krishna, will begin to arise in the heart. And that is why so many people from the Western world could take this up. Otherwise, so far away from Vedic culture, but immediately come to the highest level. Jump, leapfrog over so many levels, and may have not got some of the finer points of Vedic culture either, which led people in India to doubt when devotees came from the Western world and they're talking about chanting Hare Krishna and all these kind of things, but they don't even know to give things and take things with their right hand, and they give it in their left hand. They don't. Some of them don't even know any Gita shlokas. I know so many Gita shlokas, and these people are trying to tell me to chant Hare Krishna. They don't even know any Gita shlokas. Later they learned, but they came to the highest point. Ahobata svapacho to gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam tepastapastejo sasna arya brahmanuchan namagrinantiyeti. those who are chanting the holy names, even if they're from the lowest background, they automatically, it's understood, they already by chanting the holy names, they already went past everything else. All the Vedic rituals, all visiting holy places, all following acts of purity, everything, they came immediately to the highest stage. So, congratulations. You did it. You did it. There's no hesitation. You may hesitate to perform Vedic rituals, this, that. Am I qualified? Am I not qualified? People who are taken to this chanting, they may not even know what they're doing. It's just so easy and so attractive that anyone, anywhere will do it. We don't need any prerequisite qualification. You can just chant, and immediately can be lifted to the highest platform. So go ahead, do it. Go and chant. Don't say can't. Go ahead and do it. And Narotam Das will congratulate. Then we got more mercy. Narotam Das is congratulating. Mercy of the Vaishnavas. Gauranga gunete jure. Yeah, and again, hearing. So we're chanting the holy names. We hear the pastimes, means automatically we hear about the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It may be very difficult to understand. Again, we shouldn't bring psychological analysis born of Freudian theories or even Jungian theories or any theories to try to understand what are the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very difficult to understand. He's Bhakta Vatsala. He loves his devotees, but sometimes he might appear to be very harsh. He seemed to be ready to let Gopinath Patnaik die, his devotee die on some ridiculous charges. So, well, the charges are just some relatively petty matter. And banished Chota Haridas. Didn't seem to be very merciful to Kala Krishnadas. He sent Nityananda away. Even before he took sannyas, he beat up Advaita Acharya. Where are his good qualities? Everything about him is so sweet and so relishable, and makes us cry. And if we cry, Narotam Das says, everything is revealed. Nitya Leela, that can refer to the eternal pastimes, can refer to the eternal pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to the pastimes of Vrindavan. Here I understand it to mean the pastimes of Vrindavan in particular, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while relishing that, introduces us to that. The eternal pastimes of Vrindavan, of especially Gopi Leela, Radha Krishna Leela, that will manifest to us. And then, just if we're enraptured, encaptured by the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't reject as some epileptic or egomaniac, as some nasty scholars do. But if we just accept, oh, he's so wonderful. Even when from the worldly moralistic point of view, it may seem to be not like that at all. But if we accept, yes, it's prema vivarta, the transformations of love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so harsh to accept sannyas. Why did he do that? For the sake of love. Not just for his own, developing his own love of Krishna, but particularly for giving love of Krishna to others. So when we say it all in that light, then we simply cry when someone is so kind to us. When someone is very kind to us, that touches our heart. Who can be more kind? Toma bina ke doyalu ke achetoma. Who can be more kind than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that touches the heart? And then we want to cry. If we're not hard-hearted, if we think, I'm so fallen and lowly and miserable and mean and wretched and unqualified, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving me this mercy, and then we feel such gratefulness. We cry, and we hear about the pastimes of Chaitanya. We also cry at Haridas, Chota Haridas, how he is so faithful to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that all of a sudden he was banished, and there was no way. Eventually, he just had to accept. There's no way for him to come back, and then he couldn't live without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some people may say, "I can't live without you." Chota Haridas actually showed that by relinquishing his life, because he couldn't get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we hear about this from a devotional heart, then we'll cry how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's so attractive to others, and how he was so rigid for our benefit to establish the principles of renunciation so that it's not misused in future. He was suffering more than Chota Haridas by not getting his association of his dear devotee. But he had to tolerate that for the sake of instructing others. To be an Acharya can be a very harsh job, a very, very harsh calling. Sometimes you have to be very hard on others just to show what is the proper way to do things. We can't indulge others. Even there was no fault with Haridas. Even if you have to almost imagine some fault, or take a very small... Generally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's general principle is not to amplify faults. But rather to amplify the service attitude. Ishvara Shobhav Bhakta Naloy Aparad Alpa Sheva Bahumane Ata Prajanta Prasad. This is the general characteristic of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't consider any offenses made by his devotees, but if they have a little service spirit, he takes it to be a very great thing and gives himself to them. Now we find in the case of Haridas, Chota Haridas, he had to get the rice. What happened? That Bhagavan Acharya wanted to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch. He wanted to get the best rice to offer. He heard the best rice is with Madhavi Devi, who lives at Benpur, which is about 14 miles from Puri. So he asked Haridas. Bhagavan Acharya is lame. He asked Chota Haridas. He's one of apart from being a singer in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's entourage, he's also, he helps with various services. Govinda does all the personal services for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he has a team of helpers also. Ramai, who's that? Ramai Madhai, and then Haridas, and there are others. So Bhagavan Acharya asked, can you go to beg from Madhavi Devi? Beg means she'll give it for sure. Cooking for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Get some of the rice that she's got, because that's the best rice. So, okay, he has to. It's a day-long trip. Go and walk all the way, beg it, and come back again. Some slight fault was maybe there was some young girl with Madhavi Devi who was very beautiful. Maybe. There's no clear, nothing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that tiny, tiny, tiny fault and made it such a big thing. He says, Atma Prajanta Prasad. He gives himself to one who does a little service and doesn't even notice even a little offense. But here there was no offense, and there was a lot of service. Maybe there was a tiny, 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 tiny suggestion of an offense, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu banished him. Just the opposite. Everything the opposite. Then why did he do it? He had to teach the world. He had to teach the world that Vairagi bhai grama kota na bolebe jobe milebe ane gramana kota na shunibe balo na kaibe or balo na parebe. He had to teach principles of renunciation. Don't eat well, don't sleep well, don't discuss worldly topics. These are for renunciants. Otherwise the whole sampradaya will fall down. Who is he going to teach this? He has to teach it with his own followers. There's no fault among any of his followers. So he has to invent just to show that we cannot tolerate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot tolerate. He himself says, when his followers, even up to Paramananda Puri, Brahmananda Bharati, they were saying, can't you just excuse Haridas? Whatever he did wrong, he's sorry now. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, I cannot tolerate. My mind is not under my control. I cannot tolerate if a person in the renounced order speaks with or has any desire. And Srila Prabhupada, when he was asked about this, then he said, well, I have to engage everyone. If I make such a condition, there'll be no one with me. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to set the standard. So it may seem very harsh. Some of the things Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very harsh. He left behind his wife, first of all his mother at home. His love for his mother is much more amplified in the Vaishnava literature than his love for his wife. Not saying he didn't love his wife. It was very hard for her, very hard for her, very hard for him. He left behind his wife, young, 16 years old. For a woman who's abandoned at that age, there's nothing, there's no happiness in life. They have to sleep on the floor, no good food, hardly any food. Widow status is practically rejected in typical Vedic culture. Very harsh, very, very, very harsh. But he had to do this world. It's such, the nature of this world is that sometimes things have to be done. Even to do good, you have to do harm also. That is the nature of this world. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, amando daya. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, ultimately nothing bad will come. It may seem that something will come. It may from one perspective seem like something bad, but it's all good. So even without understanding all these things, even without going into depth into all these matters, if one simply or just has that attitude, again, we don't have to work everything out with our brains, but just simply we accept, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so merciful. Then upon hearing his pastimes, upon hearing his qualities, we simply cry, and then we become Bhakti Adhikari. Then the pastimes of Vrindavan, we are granted. All right, you can enter. You can enter via Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can begin to enter. Nitya leela tare svure. that will begin to be manifest to us. All right, now we got entrance. That's the entrance fee. The entrance fee is the tears of love and appreciation. It's nothing that can be had. Janma koti sukritarana labhyate. It cannot be had by materialistic pious performances. Even by following the rules and regulations of devotional service, it won't necessarily come. Of course, in the rules and regulations of devotional service, we perform the activities which should give rise to feelings for Gauranga, but it's not guaranteed. Bhakti is independent, which means Bhakti Devi may bestow herself upon anyone she likes, and she may withhold from anyone she likes. There's nothing that we can demand. We can't say, I chanted 64 rounds for the last 64 years, therefore I must be allowed to enter Vrindavan, into the eternal pastimes. We cannot demand. Mercy flows down. It doesn't flow up. You have to go down to get the mercy. Going on to verse 3. Gorangera shongi gone nitta siddha karimane shejai brajendra shutopash. You see how in this song Narotam Das is linking all the time the Gora Bhakti with Raja Bhakti. This song, this line means, whoever accepts the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be eternally liberated persons, such a person goes to Vrindavan, to Krishna. Throughout the song there's that link. And the whole of Gora leela, it's predicated upon Krishna leela. Gaur is Krishna searching for Krishna. Krishna in the mood of Radha searching for Krishna. Discussing Krishna. Krishna is the center. It's devotion to Krishna. So everything is predicated upon Krishna bhakti, but it becomes more and more relishable if we go through Gauranga. It's Krishna himself personally enjoys his pastimes, and then he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to enjoy his pastimes again in another way. It's like the leela is like a drama on a stage, and the actors in that drama, they're completely absorbed as if it's real. Actually, it is real, but I'm just giving you an example here. But sometimes the actor on the stage may like to join the audience and look, and the audience also get certain kind of feelings. That's the perfection of the drama, that they can awaken feelings in the audience. And there's a whole theory there in Rasa theory of how that happens, or if it happens, or what happens. So Krishna, he's simultaneously playing in the play, he's in his pastimes, but because he can expand himself, he goes in the audience also. But the analogy isn't exactly like a passive audience, because he's so much emotionally involved, and the idea of contemplating Krishna leela from outside, from Gaur leela, is to ultimately enter into it, which Krishna does. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enters the body of Gopinaths, worshipped by Gadadhar, and he enters in to Krishna, into Krishna's pastimes. So it's not that we're the audience, we're enjoined to join the audience and to really feel the feelings of the of the actors and then join the acting crew while staying outside also, because Gaur Leela and Krishna Leela go on side by side. Nitya Leela Tare Svuri. We'll see that. And also to understand Nitya Siddha Korimani. Now, they're eternally liberated persons. This means that this understanding we take to mean, it's not, they are eternally liberated associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they're also, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, Radha Krishna, all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're also in Krishna Leela. You may say, well, then where do I fit in? Yeah, you fit in. Then you also, sadhana siddha, kripa siddha, nitya siddha. There's room, there's plenty of space in the spiritual world. Krishna can expand himself unlimitedly. His pastimes are always expanding. There's plenty of room. We can also go and join them. There are new devotees joining all the time. And there are those who are the inner core. We can also join the inner core. As servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. But still one is very close, even though being the servant of the servant so many times removed. These are all spiritual possibilities which are not possible in the material world or in material understanding. So the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all liberated persons. They're all from the spiritual world. They're not material personalities. We shouldn't think, just as we shouldn't think of Gauranga as a material personality, we shouldn't think of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as being material personalities. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada comments something like that. He says that Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhar, Chandrasekhar, the living at Varanasi, they couldn't personally defeat the critics of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada writes that, well, they're neophyte devotees because they couldn't defeat them. That's one way of looking at it. But they may take that role. Gopinath Patnaik may take the role of being a corrupt in selling horses, and then lippy to the prince, not respecting. He's insulting the prince. He shouldn't do that. He's in the service of the prince. So he may show that, but he's an eternal servant. Eternal servant. And we should see like that. We don't judge the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by worldly morality. Actually, they all follow worldly morality. Even because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are different to Krishna's pastimes. Krishna doesn't follow the worldly morality. Various reasons. One thing is absolutely not on the worldly platform anyway, and the worldly morality doesn't apply there at all. There's no jurisdiction there whatsoever. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, they are careful to do so, with the exception of Nityananda and his followers who break various rules, but various Vedic rules, but or social rules. But it's not that they're dancing with others' wives as Krishna appears to do so. So they're all eternally liberated persons. They may appear to have, sometimes they may appear to have a bad temper. The Srivas Thakur, that Harichandan was the associate. Harichandan, I believe the name was. He was the bodyguard or personal assistant to Prataparudra Maharaj when he was trying to get Srivas Thakur out of the way so that Prataparudra Maharaj could have a good vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing. Srivas Thakur got fed up of being... could you just move a little bit? He got fed up and turned around and gave him a good slap. Woof! Hai Chandan became upset. Srivas Thakur had become upset. Prataparudra said, "Hey, you're so lucky. You got a slap from an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." So Srivas Thakur became upset. And he gave a good physical slap to someone who was disturbing him. Doesn't seem like Sthita Pragya, who's just fixed, undisturbed by anything. He was disturbed because I'm trying to watch Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing, and this person's just annoying. Don't judge by the material, by any material vision. These persons, they're all as liberated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. He comes to enjoy his pastimes with his devotees. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktangs. Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Pastimes means there have to be others. You don't enjoy pastimes just zzz in the Brahmajyoti. That's not pastimes. Pastimes means with others. The Rasa means with others. They're all on the same level of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They're all part of the Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. They're all part of that transcendental, spiritually blissful platform. We shouldn't think of them as anything less than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the center. All others, the devotees, they're like stars which revolve around the pole star, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who we always look to for direction. But the others, they're eternal associates. We should understand them as that. They're not just some people who got born in some family. There's Vishvamba Mishra. He was born in a Mishra family. He's given the name Vishvamba. He's not Vishvamba Mishra. You can call him that if you like, but he is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayana. He is Krishna and Radha combined, and his associates also. One who thinks like that, one who accepts that, these associates are all from Vrindavan. They're all associates of Krishna and Krishna leela. Then, what do? Then we become qualified to, we go. They take us. Sejai Brajendra Shutapash. They say, "Oh, you're so accepting of us. And you're a Bhakti Adhikari. You like to hear the qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You like to hear about the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those pastimes of Vrindavan are opening up to you. And it's not just me and Krishna, me and Gauranga, but all the devotees. There's so many pastimes of so many devotees. We hardly know a handful of them. They'll take us. Come, they'll take us. You come. All right. Now you're seeing those pastimes, you're appreciating those pastimes of Vrindavan. Come, you join. And then there you see the devotees, Svarup Damodar, Lalita, Brahmananda Rai, Vishaka. They have their assistants also. Especially, we're helped by the assistants, the Rupa Manjari, Vilas Manjari, the 6 Goswamis. And then they have their representatives in the parampara, and they're all coming. Come. We'll take you to Vrindavan. Who can go to Vrindavan? Even Lord Shiva and Narad Muni, they have to get special permission to enter. Then what to speak of us? Who can think of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That he gives his representatives generation after generation. He sent. There was some time when, some period where there was some, not so much, but then again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, others came. We can go to Vrindavan. This is how we can go. Gauranga, hear his pastimes, chant his names, understand it's all eternal. His associates are eternal. We can go. It's hard to understand. Don't try to understand, but don't think that it's all subject to our understanding. It means the service attitude with faith and trust. Everything will unfold in due course of time, as we heard so many times from Srila Prabhupada. Sri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani Tar Hoy Braja Bhume Bas. Again, linking the pastimes of Gauranga with those of with Vraja Leela, Vrindavan. The very Gaura Mandala. We have Navadvip Mandala, or the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born and performed his pastimes for 24 years. And occasionally, just he went to Gaya, he went outside. Otherwise he was in Navadvip. And previously people, hardly they traveled. In the modern age we travel a lot, but previously someone might be born in the same village and die in the same village and hardly go outside, maybe go a short distance to a wedding. Or here now in this area we have Jallikattu, the bull racing going on. They might walk a few kilometers. They might go on a pilgrimage, that they might do. But otherwise basically they stay in their village all their life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Navadvip Mandal. And then later he went out to the world. And he's still going out to the world. By his names, by his deities, by Padayatra, he's going by the books, he's going house to house, village to village, door to door, heart to heart. But especially this land is very sacred, where so many devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in West Bengal. If you see the map of the Shripats, the holy places of the great devotees, there's so many clustered around the Ganga, south of Mayapur, especially south of Mayapur, and then in other areas also, in Radhadesh, the appearance place of Nityananda. And officially, East Bengal, which is now Bangladesh, it's the exact division is not exactly because in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's mentioned the three major places of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes and three major places where he has devotees. That is Gora, Utkal and Banga. That is West Bengal is Gora, Banga is East Bengal, and Utkal is Orissa. So all these places are very sacred. And four of the members of the Panchatattva originate from East Bengal, including Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was born in West Bengal, but his forefathers are from East Bengal or Assam, or that area, Sriharta. And also from Sriharta, Advaita, Srivas, and Ganadha. They're way, way, way on the eastern side. Sriharta and Chattogram. Gadadhas from Chattogram on the eastern side. And also so many devotees. Pundarik Vidyanidhi from Chattogram. So very special lands. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is especially there. And now there are communists, and now there's Trinamool, and many thanks to Didi for all she's done for Mayapur, helping the project there. But the point I'm making here, not to put her or anyone else down, is that Bengali people, they're very much in West Bengal, very much in political consciousness. But really we want to direct them to Krishna consciousness. And politics will go on, that may go on. But the real wealth Jaradana Sampada, the real wealth of the Bengali people, the what is it? Apan Dhan Bilaya Mage Dare Dare. Srila Prabhupada gave this Bengali saying that you distribute your own wealth, then you beg door to door. So the Bengali people, they have the wealth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bliss, but they've adopted this political consciousness, and they're not happy. Those who are chanting Hare Krishna, they are happy. I saw a video recently as someone had taken, they were riding on the back of a van rickshaw. They call a van rickshaw. It means it's not a rickshaw it's more for transporting goods. Although people can sit on the back of it also. And it was in the appeared to be in the it was in the Mayapur area going towards Taranpur. The rickshaw driver was driving and he was singing as he went along. Singing very happily. It seemed to be some self-composed song. Harinam is the essence of everything. And completely happy with that. And not a rich man. No, by no means, but very, very rich in his heart. Wearing tilak and everything. So that culture is there. There are so many, even after the passing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narotam Das came, Prabhupada came, so many great devotees. This land of Bengal is very special, and we know that it's all Sri Gaura Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani Tara Hoy Braja Bhume Ba. So that's building on the idea that the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're on the same level of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the place where they appeared, because so many places Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't visit, but his devotees visited, so they're also living in the spiritual world. It's all an extension of Navadvip Dham. So in this way, those who see the land of West Bengal, and again I'm not talking about the political rallies, or the factories, or the pollution, but the spiritual essence. Those who can understand, this is the spiritual world. Then we go to, already by accepting the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as eternally liberated, then seeing his land also is the spiritual world. Then we reside in the spiritual world of Vrindavan. And again and again making the point in various ways, Narotam Das is making the point that by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by going through him and his associates and his name and his qualities and his pastimes and his land, we go to Vrindavan, which is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to take us. The next line, Gaura prema rasharnabe, Shri tarange jebardube, Shri radha madhava antaranga. Again linking Gora leela as the entrance to Krishna leela. Gaura prema rasharnabe, the ocean of the mellows of love of Gaura. In that ocean, Narotam Das says, whoever becomes submerged in the waves of that ocean, such a person is an intimate association of Radha Madhava in Vrindavan. Now, there's some points here. Gaur leela, Gaur Bhakti, Gaur kirtan. It's the entrance to Vrajadham, to Radha Krishna leela. For this purpose, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to bring us to Vrindavan. And of course, there may be others who follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they go to Ayodhya or Vaikuntha. There's also quite possible and pleasing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the ultimate aim of this Krishna conscious movement is to join the Supreme Lord in his pleasure dance in the spiritual world, in Vrindavan, Rasa, leela, gopi leela. That's the clear verdict of our Acharias. And one may also go to Vrindavan as a cowherd boy, as a follower of Nityananda. All these things are there. Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. He's the form of all rasas. Narotam, as we find in all the Acharyas, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, coming down, Rupa Goswami, then Vishwanath Charivar Thakur, especially they have Narotam, later Thakur Bhaktivinoda. They've all emphasized, especially, they've showed us that way because that's their personal aspiration and relationship with Krishna. That's their Swarasiki Siddhi, their own personalized way of eternally serving Krishna in gopi form. And Narotam in this song is also indicating that Gaur Leela, Gora takes us to Vrindavan, which is the eternal pastimes which we're to enjoy eternally. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also eternal. Gauranga Nritya Nitya. His dancing goes on eternally. Because the pastimes of Krishna are so relishable, the actors, they also like to become the literary critics or the audience. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would play back the recording of his own lecture and listen to it. There's a pleasure in that. So in the same way, the players in the drama of Krishna Leela, and again, we don't want to give any impression that that it's all simply a drama, but it's an analogy. But they also like to relish that in a different way. Those who act in the play, they relish it in one way, and those who watch the play, they relish it in another way. So different kinds of relishing. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu and his associates, they are Krishna and his associates, but they're also come outside to relish, and their pastimes are eternal. And that's also, there's another whole field of rasas. Lalita serves Radha and Krishna. Particularly Radha. She comes as Svarup Damodar, and she serves Radha, Krishna combined, but she especially deals with, or caters to, serves, that's the correct word, serves the Radha aspect of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it's Svarup Damodar is Lalita, and Krishna Chaitanya is Radha Krishna. But still, Svarup Damodar, his personality and his service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's not exactly the same as Lalita to Radha. There's another whole field of rasa, because Krishna is the original enjoyer, whose understanding, or is just eternally trying to come to grip with the fact that he's not really the boss in Vrindavan. He's got an eternal competitor in the form of Radha, but it's competition and it's attraction. the very fact, Radha, left-wing gopi, she doesn't accept total subordination to Krishna. She doesn't accept her husband, but even with her lover, she's a very strong-willed woman. But one thing, she wants Krishna. She can be very, very harsh with him. Then Lalita, when Radha is being too soft with Krishna, then Lalita, she makes her get harder. And then when Radha is too hard with Krishna, then Lalita, she tweaks everything just nicely. Says, okay, now cool down a bit. Now, but she'll never accede to Krishna being superior to Radha. So it's a very specific role she has there. But as Svarup Damodar, it's the same general format of relationship, but it's a different setting, a different mood, and a different role. So, and there's a rasa in that also. So Svarup Damodar is always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and related to him. So there's the Gora Ras, and there's relationship with Krishna and with Gora. And although Gora is the way to, he takes us to Vrindavan, or rather his devotees do. He does, yes, but he does it through his devotees. He takes us to Vrindavan. But then his own pastimes, they're eternally going on, and there is an ocean of rasa, the relationships of the devotees to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and with each other. It's a whole social network, both in Vrindavan and in Navadvip, Puri. So that in itself is it's another ocean. The two oceans are very much linked. It's like Shamakund and Radhakund, and it's the same water. But still Shamakund is Shamakund and Radhakund is Radhakund. And although Radhakund water is the same as Shamakund water, but Radhakund is taken to be more than that. More, yeah, because, yeah, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Who can say who is greater? So we don't say Gaur Leela is greater, or Krishna Leela is greater. Greater in the sense Gaur Leela because it's imbued with the quality of Audarya, which is not missing in Krishna Leela, but it becomes very prominent. The munificence. Otherwise, there's not only is there not entrance to Krishna Leela, but no one even knows anything about it. Durgam, that word is used in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used in relation to Vrindavan. Durgam, it's not easy to go there. Not easy to go. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went. He brings us. But his own pastimes, they're going on. And that ocean is there, and those who can become immersed in the waves of that ocean is to be understood. It's just like the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all have their role in Krishna Leela. They're there. So who are we when we take the full mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When we go to Vrindavan, we also become Radha Madhava Antaranga. Very close and very dear. Undoubtedly, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra Gopi, Champakalata, and all of them, Ranga Devi, Sudevi. Who did I miss out? Did I say that? Lalita, Vishaka, Champakalata, Chitra, Induleka, Sudevi, Ranga Devi. They're certainly very close, and they're close associates, no doubt, of Radha and Krishna, Antaranga. They're part of the inner circle. But the inner circle, it's huge. Even the grass in Vrindavan, even the dust in Vrindavan, it's nothing ordinary. Uddhava wants to have the dust of Vrindavan on his head. He's prepared to take birth in Vrindavan for that purpose. It's not a small thing. Everyone in Vrindavan is very, very close. It's so high. Practically, we shouldn't even be talking about it. I shouldn't be talking about it. But then we're told we should talk. We must talk. This parampara must go on. We're not going to seal the box and throw it away and say it's not applicable anymore. Let it be applicable. Let Chaitanya Charitamrita be distributed everywhere. Will people understand it? No. Does anyone understand it? No. Has anyone ever understood it? Maybe. Svarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, but they made it available. That is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his mercy, it's possible that we can become very dear and close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but of Radha Krishna, Radha Madhava. Just consider these words: Shaitarange Jebar Dube, who becomes immersed in the waves in that ocean. Who can become immersed in that wave? They're very, very big and powerful waves. They throw even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here and there. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself can hardly take the force of the love. Only for a short time does he appear in this world. And even then, only for a short time does he go into this Anta-lila, deeply into Radha Bhav. Radha herself can hardly contain it. And Krishna, he takes the form of Radha, but he can hardly take the force of that love. Therefore his body becomes extended, becomes the body, the limbs enter into. He becomes bleached as in the sea. He rubs his face against the. He can't take it. It's almost beyond his power to take it. And at some point, he enters Gopinath deity. I don't need it. We don't take the role of Radha. But those who do come close, Radha Madhava Antaranga, in those who are close associates, they can. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't even know what's going on. He's rubbing his face against the wall. He doesn't even know. He's so much immersed in the ocean of his own love. He doesn't know what's going on externally. He doesn't know he's in Puri. He thinks he's in Vrindavan. The sand dunes he takes for Govardhan. He thinks he doesn't know what's going on, but his associates are there, and they feel so much distress to see the distress of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is bliss, but it's distress. So how much can we take? How much are we prepared to enter that? The question of surrender is there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us love beyond surrender, but that doesn't mean there's no surrender. That doesn't mean that we can dispense with surrender, that he's willing to take us fully all the way there, but Singhavalokanyai, we go forward, look back a bit also. There's no question of living sinfully, being materialistic, and entering Vrindavan. He's willing to take us all the way. We have to be willing to go. The natural attraction is there to go. He will open that up to us. But we also have to decide, do we really want to go or not? Are we going to take to Krishna consciousness seriously or not? Then we get the spiritual strength to actually swim in the ocean. That very powerful ocean, the sea tide at Puri, very powerful waves. Gauranga knows. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was carried by those waves, and Gauranga, my disciple, who, when I was in those waves, I didn't have strength at one time in Puri, and he came and brought me back to the shore. So we can go. Everything is there. But we have to take to Krishna consciousness very seriously. Narotam was very serious about his own Krishna consciousness, and he liked to associate with those who are very serious. And grihe babonete take, ha Gauranga boler dake, Narotama mage tarasanga. Narotam, he doesn't say that very serious means you have to give up family life. But he says, whether you're renunciant, like himself, Narotam, he's a renunciant. And generally renunciants means he never married. They don't like to associate with grihastas, because grihastas are always interested with that pounds, shillings, pence, family, friends, social life, properties, and so many complexities in their lives. Renunciants leave all that behind, just to live simply and worship the Lord. But Narotam says, that's all external, it doesn't matter. Whoever chants the name of Gauranga, I want their association. And his closest associates were Srinivas, Shamananda. They studied under the great renunciant Jiva Goswami. Narotam took initiation from the great renunciant Lokanath Goswami. He studied under Jiva Goswami. He was in student life, he was a student under Jiva Goswami with Srinivas and Shamananda, both of whom married. And then Ramachandra Kaviraj also married. Actually, he was married, but he was very renounced. But he was so close. Ramachandra Shanga, Mage, Narottama Das. Well, what is that? What does he say? Ramachandra Kaviraj? I can't remember the next thing it says. Tara Shanga Bina Shab Shunya. Without the association of Ramachandra, Narotam sings, everything is empty. So, making the point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is completely spiritual. Take to that seriously. All material designations are jumped over. They're there. In this way, grihastas have duties, sannyasis have duties. But all join together and chant the holy names. Narotam, he's saying, I desire their association. Narotam's association up to the present day is purifying the world. He's giving his association. He says, after revealing his heart in his Prem Bhakti Chandrika, at the end he says, Apana bhajana kota nako hibo jota tota. That actually all these things, what's going on in my heart, it's not meant for revealing to everyone. But he did so anyway. That is his kindness, so that we can take advantage up to the present day. We can take advantage, but that's going on. His songs, his teachings are in his songs. That sustained the life of the Gauriya Vaishnavas through generations up to the present day. One great advantage of being born in Bengal or Bengali and taking to Krishna consciousness is you can easily imbibe so many of these kirtans, and we find it. We go among the Bengali devotees and we sing all these bhajans, and they know them all. Many of them, they know they sing along very happily. They've taken it in their heart. They're taking the association of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Lochan Das, Narotam Das, Govinda Das, all these Acharias of the past. They're taking their association. So Narotam Das, up to the present time, he's delivering all the world or those who take advantage of his association, but that is his Vaishnava humility. He's begging I want the association of such persons. Such a person, Grihasta, chanting the holy names of Krishna, chanting the holy names of Gauranga. Their association is relishable. But Narotam, he didn't like the association of high-class materialistic people. He didn't like that. And his disciples shielded him from that. They wouldn't allow them to come close to him, even though they wanted to come and harass him. So many things we have to learn from Narotam Das. Narotam Das is simply exalting. He writes these songs. It's simply his heart is manifesting. And he writes. And we sing up to the present day. And by his mercy, we hear about Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, which Narotam Das, he so much appreciated. Krishnadas Kaviraj's contribution in composing Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he very much appreciated. He associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the grace of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then Bhakti Rasa Shah, the essence of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Narotam Das has put in his songs. Everything we have to know, everything we have to learn about Chaitanya Charitamrita, the essence is right there in this song. Gauranga Tipada Jaradhana Shampada Shejane Bhakti Rasa Shah. Everything, and so it's all compiled and compressed. And then again we can fluff it out, talk about it, discuss it, and in this way, Gora Prema Rasharnabe, we can Shaitarange Jebardube, we can become absorbed, we can become immersed in the wave. Actually, the wave is a very great thing. even a drop. Even a drop. The Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that the ocean of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so great, I can hardly touch even a drop. I'm attempting to do in this Chaitanya Charitamrita. But that even to touch one drop is far beyond my capacity. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we're able to discuss all these things. It's a great flow, the waves of mercy coming down in parampara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to inundate the three worlds with nectar, and that nectar is still flowing. We should take advantage of that. Otherwise, if we don't take advantage, then we're simply wasting, spoiling our opportunity of human life. So let's do that then. What is the mood of the Acharias? How do we know about all this now? Because they didn't sit simply relishing, but they distributed. Srila Prabhupada pushed us to distribute this. make everyone happy by distributing this fruit of love of God. Srila Prabhupada, we see the example how he sacrificed for spreading this, working so hard, distributing, writing, dealing with all kinds of people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is a day for us to remember and relish the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and increase our resolve for fulfilling his desire. Priti vite ache jato nagar adigram sabatra prachar hoibe mornam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that in every town and village of this world, his name would be preached. And the movement is worldwide, the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many, many towns and villages where it hasn't reached. Or it may have reached previously, but such a long time ago, it's practically forgotten. We have a lot of work to do, Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti hayamalayam. Shesha stavara ichanti kimascharya mataparam. Every day, so many living beings, they die, they go to Yamaraj. Those who are still here, they should get Prabhupada's books. They should hear the holy name. They should take some prasadam. They desire to stay here. They cannot stay here. That is the amazing foolishness. What can be more amazing than they desire to stay when they cannot stay? But at least while they're here, let us try to benefit them. So let us remember on this day, Jare Deko, Tare Koha, Krishna Upadesh, Amaragya, Guru Hoya, Taro Edesh. Wherever you go, whoever you meet. This, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse must be the verse that Srila Prabhupada quoted the most. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, instruct them in the science of Krishna. On my order, become a guru and deliver this land. So let us commit ourselves to that. Guru means not cheaply, not should be guilelessly, without any personal motivation. Then we can do great service in the service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that we should think of. So much nectar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Practically, we should be thinking more service. How can I serve? Service, nectar, they're interrelated. There's no nectar without service. If we do service, nectar automatically comes. We are pleasure-seeking entities. That is our nature. Raso vaisaha. Our nature is to be blissful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows us how to be blissful. Even if we don't want to see, he drowns us in bliss. Some are avoiding. Those who avoided, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made some means to attract them. His means was accepting sannyas. We have to find the ways and means that this disaster doesn't go on. Then people are now talking disaster in Ukraine. So many people are getting killed. But the real disaster that's going on every day, even before this Ukraine war started, is that so many people are dying. Yeah, they're dying in Ukraine, but they were dying in Ukraine before, not in as great numbers as at present, but people are dying all over the world and they don't have Srila Prabhupada's books. They didn't take prasadam. They don't know the name of Krishna. People are having big conferences, how to stop global war, how to stop global warming, how to make peace in the world. Big conferences about so many issues. The biggest disaster, the biggest issue, people, they don't know about Krishna. They go through their whole human life. While the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is on this world, it's the 10,000 years, they got the human form of life, but they didn't get the opportunity. We didn't reach them. We have to redouble. Srila Prabhupada said, double it for distribution of his books. If we'd actually done that, then there wouldn't be enough trees on the planet. If we literally doubled each year, there wouldn't be enough trees on the planet to do that, to even print so many books. But we get the idea. We are meant for distributing what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. And if we do that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be very pleased. I may think, well, if I do that, then I can't chant and do my bhajan, and I can't go to Krishna. I won't get all that nectar, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and what's more, I'll get influenced by all these worldly people, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Kabuna bhade be tomai e bishai taranga, punarapi e tai pabe morashanga. He says, if you do this, if you go everywhere, you preach, you bring others to Krishna, or my order become a guru, then what will happen, you won't be affected by the waves of materialistic sense enjoyment, and you will meet me again at this place. We don't have to do anything else. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will personally come and take us back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dante nithaya churnakang padayo nipatya kritvacha kakushatameta bravimi. Hey sadhava sakala eva vihaya durat. Gauranga Chandra Charane Kurutanu Ragaha Parivadatu Jano Yata Tava Nanumokarona Vayang Vicharayamaha Hari Rasa Madira Madati Mata Bhuvi Vilutama Nartama Nirvishama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,